Hello YouTube, it's King Scribe here, and thank you for watching this YouTube video. Now, many of you will have seen the Feminist video with young girls swearing in it, and they're talking about how sexism influences their lives, except none of the points they bring up has anything to do with being a little girl or being a very young child, which is what these girls are. Really? So those girls experience pain inequality, do they? I don't think any girl 5 years old experiences pain inequality. If they do, it's got something to do with the parents, not with the system. And let's put it bluntly, girls do get more money than boys because they get all their gear bought for them, all their makeup, and I could go on, but girls tend to get more pocket money than boys. Their parents tend to spend a lot more money on girls than they do on boys. But anyway, that's a different matter. This video did nothing for the feminist cult except make it look bad, and it just shows you just how vile this cult has become. It's a cult mentality. It's a blame game. It's a victim game where they train young girls to have imaginary problems already. Pain inequality. I don't know any young girl that age who has pain inequality, and if they are screaming and shouting and saying "back you" because they have pain inequality as a 5-year-old girl, it shows just how brainwashed they are. They're getting young kids now to promote this feminist issue and just saying it as being an adult woman. I would have accepted it much more if they talked about sexism they experience as young children, not as adults, because they don't know what it's like to be an adult, because they're not one. Okay, there's more to it than this. There's much more to it than this. I think this has more than one meaning. I think the reason why this was put out was either to make the feminist cult look bad. I think the money that's been funded into this project is probably to cause a division between women and men. You know, you want to make the feminist cult look bad, so you script something and you say, oh, this is a good idea, kids, you do this, you talk about this, and we'll make the feminist cult look bad. They obviously won't tell the the women and the kids that it's going to make them look bad, but it will do, because it does. I mean, nobody will look at that and think, oh yeah, that looks so fucking cool. I really agree with it, because they can see through the bollocks. They can see how vile it is. You don't get young children to say "fuck you" all over the place on the camera, and then talk about women issues as if it was their own. They're putting the kids up to that, and I think that's wrong. That's what would happen if the male equivalents, the male chauvinist pigs, then decided they would put kids up to do exactly the same thing? It'll be an all-out war. And it does make the feminist cult look bad. It makes them look really bad. But I personally don't think they're completely behind it. But the women in that video knew exactly what they were doing when they were talking. There was women in that video who were actually promoting it. So some of the feminist cult is actually responsible for doing that. And I know the feminists will say, oh, we're innocent victims in all this. Well, you made the videos. You chose to put your kids up to those videos, so it shows that you are responsible for your actions. That certainly doesn't make you look good. So this is a way to make females look bad in society. Anybody who complains about how difficult it is to be a feminist or whatever, it makes them look bad. But it also makes the men look bad. The men are going to get blamed for that video anyway. Any mistake a female makes in life is automatically blamed on men. Yeah, always blamed on men. I mean, I can say some of my theories on this, that I think there's more to it than just feminism. I think somebody wants to destroy that movement, and I'd be glad to see it go. I would. But there are issues within the feminist movement that I agree with. Some of the issues I agree with. I think women who are abused must be looked after by society. I agree with that. But the other women who are putting it on need to be sorted out too. I mean, there's more to it than just blaming men for everything, and that's the problem with this movement. It's always a blame game, and it's always a victim game, and they're conditioning young children to believe they're victims already of rape. Right? Where's this 1 in 3 women getting raped gone now? Right? Now it's 1 in 5. So you drop the amount of women getting raped because you realise that that no longer works, because they use 1 in 3 women are getting raped on the everyday sexism site, and then people pointed out that it's not 1 in 3 women. Those statistics was brought on by assaults on women too. So it's rape and assault, but why would they even include rape within the sentence of the statistics? It just shows you just how devious this feminist cult actually is. The feminist cult is a dangerous cult. It's a sickening cult, and you can see just how sick the motherfuckers are in those videos. Getting little kids to swear. It's not the swearing that's the problem. I don't mind seeing kids swearing, getting angry in front of the camera, but to actually make them believe they're victims and not allow them to be children. I mean, if you're the mother of those children, why don't you set an example and help your kids along, and also help your young children along? And by the way, saying boys shouldn't rape. What, you're talking about 5-year-old boys raping little kids, are you? I don't know many 5-year-old boys actually raping any kids. I am literally shocked. I mean, talk about a lack of intelligence. They just come out with any old bollocks now. Get young kids on it. Get young girls on it. So like this. I still want to know how young kids experience pay inequality. Tell me one issue on there that has anything to do with being a toddler at all. Now, if they said something like, "Oh, we have to dress up in pink," well, maybe you can blame your fucking mother for that too, right? Because she's the one who buys you clothes. Yeah? So you can't just blame the man for it. In fact, I think the mother is more responsible for how the children is dressed, because she's the one who chooses all the clothes. So maybe it's your mum that you have to blame, not your father. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, most kids are without fathers now anyway. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, none of this video helps the feminist cult. I agree. But then again, the feminist cult is actually behind it as well. In fact, it looks like it's totally behind it, but I'm just giving another theory that there might be more to it. There might be a darker side behind it, which is trying to use these naive feminists to internally destroy or corrupt it further, so that they make mistakes which will in the end crush the movement. There might be some good in feminism, I don't know, but I would prefer if they use a different word, and I prefer if equal rights, movements about equal rights was based on equal rights. Why not have an equal right movement that has to do with men and women, alright, or males and females, not just one sex? That way we could get more problems solved in society than feminism or maleism, whatever it's called, could ever do. But they won't do that because they want people to be internally fighting each other all the time. It's a disgusting movement now, alright? It's corrupted. It's corrupted to the core. It's evil to the core. It's dangerous to the core. And it conditions young children into believing they're victims. It doesn't empower young children at all. In fact, it's abusing children at the moment. That's the problem I have with this. It's disgusting little movement that's going on. You shouldn't be treating kids like that. Alright? You should be treating them with respect and dignity, and not making them believe that they're victims before they ever become one. I mean, saying that which one of us 5 will be raped is absolutely disgusting, and it shows just how much the feminists hate men. Alright? Especially those 2 women on the video. I mean, they're 2 of the worst ones as well. Don't forget they were on the video. They chose to be there. But there could also, honestly, there could also be a darker side behind this, where they were using crazy feminists to internally destroy themselves. It's possible. But the feminists are also crazy. As I said before many times in different videos, the feminist cult now has become so dangerous it has to be crushed. We probably need to come up with a different type of movement than this. I would actually call it equal rights movement. That's what I would call it, equal rights. Drop the feminism, drop the maleism, whatever it's called. Drop the male chauvinist, drop the female chauvinist, and just bring everything together and fight for each other. Stop dividing each other. Stop fighting like little children. Be strong and be united. That's what we need. I would join a group that would fight for both sexes, not just one. Alright? I'm not going to join any cult like that, because it's a divide and conquer technique, and it's working. You see. Don't forget, any money that goes into feminism, there's a reason for it. But obviously, somebody out there wants this movement to be crushed, and I'm sure the feminist movement will do it themselves. See you later. Goodbye.